Hello and welcome to today's edition of Sapita Show, where we give everyday heroes the platform to share their stories, challenges, and triumphs in a way that positively impacts our world. Today, we reflect on the theme, the concept of volunteering as an act of utmost service. Volunteering is a selfless service and is always appreciated when people dedicate their time and resources to make great impact. Providentially, we are honored to interview a volunteer par excellence, Clare Chinagorom Ezeakacha. Clare is the founder and director of Clare Cares Foundation, which is devoted to organizing educational seminars to sensitize the youth against vices such as rape and child abuse. They are also involved in raising funds from members, corporate organizations, philanthropists, international donor agencies, and government support programs for social impact projects. Her concept of volunteering is not just a phenomenon to her, it is her life, and the impact has been tremendous. In fact, just yesterday, through our foundation and other veritable team of volunteers, they visited two schools in two communities, encouraging children, donating learning aids to them, inspiring them, and ultimately impacting them for the better. Yet, I know that as inspiring as working in non-profit is, many volunteers in non-profit tend to sometimes wonder if they are in the wrong job. The magnitude of what they want to do and the restricted resources at their disposal can be sometimes dispiriting. Occasionally, they wonder if it ain't better to quit this quote unquote foolishness and get a job that makes them a quick buck. In fact, as some used to say, who impact help? It can be crazy. But here comes the glimmer of hope from Claire, who though holds a bachelor degree in computer science, a PhD in mass communication, a mini MBA in non-profit leadership, and an MSc in information technology. Even though she has worked as an IT officer in KPMG, one of the four largest audit and accounting firms in the world, even though she's a filmmaker who directed so many films, among them Arima, which is a big net on rape, even though she's a content developer, a radio personality, and a voice artist who have voiced and produced numerous jingles and political programs. Yet, Claire volunteers to support children in rural areas and use her voice as a tool for creating change in the society. As those who are impacted as thought used to say, Claire truly cares. Hello, Miss Claire. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Hugo. That was a lot. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm
Okay,
glad to be here. Thank you.
you're most welcome. Yeah, let's begin with the basic understanding of the concept of volunteering. What is volunteering and what does it mean for one to be a volunteer?
Okay, so it basically means selflessly rendering help, selflessly rendering assistance. All right. Then a volunteer
Mhm.
is the person who does the act of that selfless service. So
Okay,
um,
beautiful.
yeah, so it's basically sacrifice, time, dedication. You know, that's basically it.
Wonderful. So,
Yeah.
what are the reasons why people volunteer? And is it to make themselves feel good, or is it because they are serving some greater purpose, or is it because they truly care, or is it simply to build an impressive resume?
Okay, so as we differ in faces, that's how we differ in our hearts, in our minds, in our mindsets. So volunteering naturally should be for a good cause. It should be because you want to help. It should be because you want to create a positive change or a positive impact. So I may not be able to speak for everyone generally, but I would say that if it's the kind of volunteering that I do, it's for a good cause. So we don't do it to feel good. We don't do it to brag. We don't do it. I mean, in the real sense of it, you would rather want to use your time to do something that would pay you, or do something
Mhm.
that would make more impact in your life. But if you have dedicated yourself to create change, to make an impact, then I mean, it means that it goes beyond whatever it is you think you're looking for. The money may not even come, never. or it comes in different forms, maybe not monetary wise, but blessings that come with it is just enormous and unexplainable. So for volunteering, it's a very, very self-sacrificial act that one goes into, and nothing replaces that.
Wonderful. That's beautiful. I mean, you volunteered for quite a number of years now. And
Yes.
so before one wants to volunteer, so any individual wishes to volunteer, what are the necessary things to consider? Is there any special qualities or abilities that someone should possess before the person can actually participate in volunteering per se?
Be compassionate. Be ready to create your time. Be ready to sacrifice your time. Be ready to dedicate time. Everything still revolves around time, because if you're not available, then you cannot volunteer. And if you're available, you should be compassionate. If you're available, you should also have some form of empathy in communicating your words to the people you want to make impacts to. So I will still put everything to time, dedication, time dedication, empathy, and compassion. So these three work together, as good qualities for a volunteer. So you have time, you create time to start to work, to render selfless service, and then you must be compassionate. You must be patient too, and then you must have some form of empathy. So when you speak or communicate to these people you're trying to create change to, there's this form of empathy and welcomeness from their side, and then they see, oh, this person is receptive, and they open their hands and their arms open wide for you to come in and then make that impact. Because a lot of people can say no if you want to make impact. It's actually not compulsory, and some people may not want to say, oh yes, I'm ready for you to help me, because of either the way you speak, because of the way you talk, because of how insensitive you are in your words. So
Okay,
that's basically it. Yes.
wonderful, 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 wonderful. Okay, let me take you to your own foundation. You're the founder and of course the number one volunteer of Clare's Foundation, Clare Cares Foundation. So, can you share us a little bit of your background? What led you to volunteer? How volunteering, has altered your life? The biggest challenges you've encountered or encountering currently, and how you've actually navigated them in your
Okay.
volunteering work.
Oh, okay. That's beautiful. So Clackers is for young children, for young people, is for adults, women especially. And it's been an amazing ride. Of course, none is void of challenges, but we pull through. You know, Irrespective of every challenge we face, we still pull through. We have different projects we run every year. We have the purchasing of jam forms at the beginning of the year. We have the visitation for Valentine's Day at the orphanage home. We have the World Autism Day that we celebrate. We also run the Children's Day, which comes in line with our anniversary every May 27th. So we do a 3-day course, a 3-day program. So day one could be in the orphanage, day two could be in a school. We just try to make impact in different communities so that different people, would um, gain from our project. We run the Back to School project. We run the International Day of the Girl Child, the World Menstrual Hygiene Day. This year, we should be celebrating World Teachers Day, October 5th, by His grace. And then we have the very big one that comes in December, Feed 1000. It's always amazing. And you find a lot of people who, selflessly just write in and say, oh, I would love to volunteer. And sometimes these projects run 24 hours in the whole day, and they are there. No one is rushing. No one is, tired of working. Everyone wants to be there. Everyone wants to share something. Everyone wants to be with these children. So it's an amazing ride, because it's good when you see people who want to contribute to the betterment of their community, of their society. So it's not for Claire, it's not for the Clare Cares team, it's for the people you are making impact. And so far, I would say that I have worked with amazing volunteers. I don't think I have complaints with anyone. So I would say I have an amazing, group of volunteers that come through for every single project that we run. And it just shows that we're doing something good. Because if If the projects are not good, if they're not executed or implemented very well, it means you don't have people who will show up. But constantly, we've been having people who come through for us from the beginning of the year till the end of the year. So it tells you that there are people out there who wants to actually help, who wants to actually, sacrifice the time to create change in the environment. That's basically, and volunteering has been really good for me too, because it's not just about Clare Care. Sometimes I volunteer for people, if I know that your vision matches with mine, or the cause or the goal of your foundation it's good, I definitely would, volunteer for you. I don't mind doing whatever it is, but just to make sure that we make it a success. So that has been it for us.
Wow, incredible, wonderful. So, as a volunteer, let me take you to your work one more. As a volunteer, do you ever feel that your work is either unappreciated or underappreciated? And apropos to that, you know, how do you handle a volunteer, in your foundation who is showing kind of a lack of motivation or who is underperforming?
Okay, let me answer the first one. So because you're not doing it, you're not volunteering for anyone, because you're not volunteering to be cheered, or you're not volunteering to be paid. You're doing this with your heart. You're doing it from the bottom of your heart. It means that you don't need anyone to cheer you up. There's nothing like being underappreciated, or there's nothing like that. You're doing it. You're doing it for a purpose. What puts a smile on your face is when you see the children smiling. It's when you see that fulfillment, when you give them the things or you tell them the words they need to hear. So there's no, I don't believe in underappreciated. I'm not doing it for anybody. I'm doing it for the children. And if these children are happy, if I can see them smiling and jumping and saying, "Thank you, Auntie," I'm okay. It's fine. It's very beautiful, And I think a lot of volunteers who do this selflessly feel the same way or have the same notion that I have right now. And for a volunteer who is probably laid back, I think I've experienced it just once, and what I did was call the person apart, and I called her aside, and I told her, I said, "I didn't force you to be here. You said you wanted to be here. You're being distracted with your phone, and you will make other volunteers feel like, they can also be nonchalant. So you will do me a favor. You will give me your phone. At the end of the project, I return the phone." And it was simple, and she understood it, And when we were done, I gave her the phone back, and everyone kept on with the work. So it's just to know the best way to communicate with these people, and I think everything will go fine.
Awesome, awesome. So okay, and even though you're a volunteer too, you normally encourage young people to volunteer.
Yes, I
And why do you do that? Why do you encourage young people to volunteer? And related to that equally, what investment in volunteer work could strengthen one's employment prospects? Because I know people who volunteer so that, of course, you have your reasons just because you want that out of charity, empathy, but some people volunteer so that it will serve in a resume that they have volunteered. If you want to apply for a job, say, have you volunteered somewhere before? So, what investment in volunteer work can actually strengthen one's employment prospect for those listening to us who volunteers for that reason?
Okay, why I encourage the young people to join or to volunteer is because it's for the good of themselves, for the good of our community. Like I say, it's never about Claire. It's never about clickers, like the team. No, it's never about us. It's about them. So if you're helping the society, you're also helping yourself. So we engage these volunteers. You just don't come to share gifts or come to stand and look. No, everyone participates. So if we're going to the back for the back to school project, I assign different volunteers to different classrooms. So it means you must engage a child. You must engage children. If you're doing that, you are also helping yourself. You're learning how to communicate, you're learning how to engage these people, you're learning how to be independent. Do you understand? So it's not
Yeah.
for my good, it's for your good too. And of course, for the betterment of the society, the reason why we are doing this project and why we are sacrificing our times for them. So when it comes to procuring jobs, it's also a good one. Now it depends on the field where you'd want to work. So if you're a social worker, you want to travel, these things add up to your resume. So you see. You're volunteering,
Mm-hmm.
dedicating your time, and then it's also bringing you a steady job, which you could use part of the money to also sponsor or support a foundation or a good cause. So it's not a selfish idea. It's a win-win for everybody. You understand? So I'm
Okay.
dedicating my time, and at the same time, it's also building my resume. So a lot of people don't even know that volunteering can secure a job for them. A lot of them are not even aware that if I volunteer for this foundation, if I stand in as a volunteer for 2 years, my resume is rich and I can do a lot of things. So it's not just for me. No, it's not. It's for them and it's for the society. Basically, the main reason we're doing the project, for the children, for the society, for the mothers, for everyone's good. If everyone is happy, everybody's doing fine.
Beautiful, beautiful. So, you've spoken so well. I want you to have like a final words. What's the final words to volunteers across the world, especially within the African continent, and how may one, you know, partner or reach the Clare Cares Foundation?
Okay, final words. Let's say, I would say, if you have to be a volunteer, do it judiciously, with all your heart, with all your mind. Do you understand? Bring out everything you have in you to volunteer, to teach, to engage. These things would help you. It would help you, it would help the society, it would help everyone around you. And in all you're doing, just know that God is seeing all these things. And don't expect, oh, because I volunteered yesterday, I'm expecting that God will bless me and I'll get 9 million naira. He probably just, protected your life the moment you left the road or you were on the road. So there are different ways your blessings could come. No one is saying he won't bless you with money, but I mean, just do it and let it go and allow God reward you. And I think that's it for the advice I have to give them. Yes.
Okay. How may one reach a partner with the Clare Cares Foundation?
Okay. So we're on Instagram at Clare Cares Foundation, on Facebook Clare Cares Foundation, and I am also on Facebook Clare Chinagorom Ezeakacha. Then you can also send us an email, clarecaresfoundation@gmail.com. And we have our website, www.clarecaresfoundation.com.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. That's quite incredible, and
Thank you.
it's an awesome time having you today in this show. So
Thank
this
you.
is Sapitas Show, where we give everyday heroes the platform to share their stories, challenges, and triumphs in a way that positively impact our world. Fortunately, today we have Claire, who have shared with us deep insights with regard to volunteering. I saw you go fast to partner with Clare Cares Foundation. You can put your email in the chat
Oh,
box,
great. Okay.
so that people can reach you there. So, meanwhile, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to Sapita Show to get further updates on the wisdom which the everyday heroes we interview share to us. And don't hesitate to reach out to Clare Cares Foundation. Yes, I'm posting the email now. Let's comment. Reach out to them and know how to volunteer. Volunteering can help you build your resume. It can equally help you to impact the world and help you to actually contribute in strengthening the common fabric of our humanity. Thank you so much for participating in today's edition of Sapita Show. And Claire, say
Yeah.
bye to our fans.
Thank you so much, Sapita's fans. And thank you for having me. Thank you so much. Thank you. I
All
will
right.
take it for granted. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much.
All
Bye
right.
bye. See
Bye.
you next
Okay.
time.